Okay. Stream shouldn't be too far away. There it is there. It's up and running. And the audio is working as it should. So everything is good to go. So, hello and welcome everyone to round 10 of the PlayStation America series here on Race Spec Esports. We're back, and this time we're at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Often described as Monaco without the walls, the Hungaroring is a 2.72 mile, 14-turn circuit that is quite tough to pass other cars. Best overtaking opportunity is with the assistance of DRS into the heavy braking zone of turn 1. In the middle sector here, we typically see drivers filter through the sector single file due to the high and medium speed corners in the sector. The final sector doesn't offer much either, except for the deep braking zone of turn 12. So the majority of action will likely take place at turn 1. But in terms of drama, there are plenty that the drivers will have to look out for. Turns 4, 5 and 11 have claimed many cars, and the strategic game in this race tends to be very interesting. This is because the soft tyre is ridiculously fast over one lap, making it an ideal qualifying tyre, but in the race it's almost completely useless as it burns out too quickly. That is, of course, if it doesn't rain, which isn't too rare here at the Hungaroring. So there's a lot to play for here and a lot to think about for this race tonight. Let's see who makes the right calls, the right decisions, and comes out victorious here in Budapest. But before we touch on that, we better have a look at the news from last week. Now, there were a few incident reports handed out, but all of them involve one driver, a driver named Kaz. And to sum it up, their penalties involve not obeying blue flags and impeding drivers during qualifying. And added up, they received about 30 seconds worth of time penalties. They got an immediate race ban and a qualifying ban for the next race they participated in. So, in all, not a great race weekend for Kaz. But looking at the Drivers' Championship, Passassin leading the way on 240 points, followed by Nihil Plus Ultra on 123. Passassin has got a 117-point lead coming into this round at the Hungaroring. Mathematically, he can wrap up the Drivers' Championship as early as next round. He is that far ahead. KD 1997 is in third place, currently on 117 points, followed by Oxford Fox, then Silent Banshee, Lake Show, Hildebeest, Psycho, Snake and Beans, and JC rounds out the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, we have Mercedes leading the way on 333, followed by Alpine on 220. So yeah, Mercedes got a massive lead in the Constructors. Aston Martin a third on 166, then Williams on 120, then Alfa Romeo on 114, then Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, AlphaTauri, and Haas. But that's pretty much it in terms of news. We can now fully focus on this qualifying session. And it'll be interesting to see who starts on what tyre here. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we saw a fair few drivers try and qualify on the medium tyre. Like I said, the soft tyre, it's really quick over one lap. But during a race, it burns out literally after 2 or 3 laps. It goes away very quickly. Passassin setting times on the soft tyre, that's interesting to see. He sets a 1 minute 15.042, and Hill completes his lap. He sets a 16 flat. Any drivers on the mediums? We got a few. Silent Banshee, Passassin's teammate, on the mediums currently. Psycho on a flying lap, making his way through the middle sector, heading around turn 11. Now through the final sector, turn 12, then through turn 13. Oh, yellow flags in the second sector. That's a Ferrari getting out of the way. Around the final corner comes Psycho to complete his flying lap. See where he slots himself on the leaderboard. For some reason he hasn't moved up. I'm pretty sure he didn't invalidate his lap either. That's very strange. I'm pretty certain he completed that lap without invalidating. Anyway. Rafa exiting the final corner onto the pit straight. He'll cross the line to set a 17.7, 7th quickest for the Brazilian. Let's see here. Shizen just backing off. Snake and Beans getting ready. Laquito has invalidated. Captain Schmeg getting ready to set a flying lap on the mediums. His teammate is Cameron, Cos Cameron. Hildebeest isn't here for tonight's race. As Ripper Rick has left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin soon, as Oscar Toll has retired out of the session. Interesting, he's done that in the pit lane, I think. As Cameron begins his flying lap, take you on a guided tour of the racetrack. Heading down into turn 1 from 8th gear, bringing it down to 3rd. Short shifting to 4th on the exit. DRS open, down towards turn 2. Brings it back down to 3rd gear, hugs the inside nicely. Through turn 3. Then up towards turn 4. This completes the first sector. Turn 4, quite the notorious corner. You have to be very, very careful through there. Through turn 5. Very sideways and into the wall. Well, that's an abrupt end to the lap. Right on board with Captain Schmeck to complete the rest of the lap. Through the chicane of turn 6 and 7. Then through turn 8. 4th gear, nice and steady on the throttle. Nice and steady with the brake input as well. Through turn 10. Into the notorious turn 11. It's very easy to lose control of the car, end up in the barrier on either side of the circuit. Around turn 12, where we may see a little bit of action, maybe a few overtakes here and there. Around turn 13, the penultimate corner, hugging the inside line. Nice and tidy through there. Through turn 14, final corner on the circuit. Get on the power as early as you can. DRS open, up towards the line. Captain Schmeg goes 7th quickest with a 117.218. Inside the top 10 on the medium tyre. It's not too bad, but we've still got a lot of time left in the session. Flavius starting a flying lap, exiting turn 1. Down towards turn 2. You have to be a bit careful with turn 2. It's got a little bit of negative camber on the on the apex rather, which pushes you away from the racing line. So you have to really try and hug the inside as best you can. As he invalidates on the exit of turn 4. Very easy to do. Just to run wide a little bit there. Put all 4 wheels over the white line. Oh, dearie me, Shizzle. What are you up to? Dearie me. Snake and Beans coming around the final turn. DRS open up towards the line. 13th quickest with an 18.5. JST getting ready to set a flying lap. He's on the medium compound as well. Down the pit straight, heading towards turn 1. We'll see about 310 kilometers an hour. 311 into turn 1. 2nd gear gets around the apex very nicely. Down the hill towards turn 2. Through turn 2. Down the hill around turn 3. First sector 27.6. I still like that glitch is still in the game, where it's showing false purple sectors. Because JC is definitely not going quickest on the medium tyre. There's no way he'll go quickest on the medium tyre. And that is a Haas facing the wrong way. It's Shizened. Well, he gets going again. Ripper Rick starting a flying lap. Flavius in the middle of one. JST coming towards the end of one. Around the penultimate corner, that's Snake and Beans trying to get out of the way. Around the final corner. Up through the gears, crossing the line. P11 for JST. the 1 minute 17.946. JBH getting ready to set a flying lap in the hill. Well down on his previous best. Passassin apparently purple to the middle sector. He's coming around turn 13. Currently on pole position by quite a margin. We'll see if he can improve on his time. Exiting the final corner on the pit straight up towards the line. Yep, he does improve. 1 minute 14.676. He is 1.3 seconds quicker than the hill in P2. Quite a big margin. JBH getting ready to set a flying lap. Ripper Rick goes fourth quickest. You'll be pretty happy with that. With a 116.161. JBH getting some heat into those tyres. Coming around the final corner. Opens DRS. Slingshots himself down the pit straight. Down towards turn 1. 313 kilometers an hour entering turn 1. Second gear. Brings it back up through the gears. Down towards turn 2. Entry speed of about 285 kilometers an hour. Through turn 3. Towards the first sector split. Has he improved? No, he hasn't. He's down by half a tenth. And that is Laquito that's going slowly in the third sector. Trying to get out of the way of faster cars. Through turns 6 and 7. And through turns 8, 9. A bit wide there, but gets through. Through turn 11. Back end stepping out just a little bit. He's up by 3.5 tenths. That sort of improvement, he can jump up to the front row. Around the penultimate corner, turn 13. Up and around turn 14. Nice and tidy around the final corner. DRS open up towards the line. Oh, he's lost time. He lost a lot of time in that final sector. Stays P4, but does improve. Lakeshore getting ready to set a flying lap. Coming around the final corner. Taking a nice wide entry so he can power out the exit. Carry as much straight line speed as he can down the pit straight. Through turn 1. DRS open. Down towards turn 2. Gets around the curve fairly nicely there. Car looks quick, looks stable. First sector split says for Lakeshore. Down by 34 thousandths of a second. Heading around the notorious turn 5. You have to avoid that inside curb as best you can. Through the chicane. Very nicely there. Around turn 8. Then turn 9. Ooh. He's lost a lot of time there. He made a real mess of turns 10 and 11. He's backed out of the lap completely. He might duck back into the pit lane. Though I'm not sure how much time we have left. Oh, okay, we've got plenty of time. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. That's heaps of time. Godly Boss in the middle of a flying lap coming to the final sector. The clock says he's up by 0.6 of a second. Round turn 12. Down towards turn 13. Brings it down to third gear. Second gear, rather. Hugs the inside line. Up the hill. Around the final turn. Captain Schmeck has jumped up to second place with a 15.7. I imagine Godly Boss is going to jump up a few positions too. He jumps up to P7. Improving by 8 tenths. And look at that. Look how close it is between P7 to P3. Look at the times. So Godly Boss has set a 116.170. Then we got Ripper Rick, who's set a 16.161. JBH has done a 16.149. Lake Show's done a 16.075. Then we got The Hill, who's done effectively a 16 flat. A little over 1/10 separating 5 drivers. Really, really close. You typically see this around short racetracks. You see it at Red Bull Ring. Interlagos is another good example, where qualifying is always very tight. It's very fine margins. As Flavius is retired from the session, I think he's done that in the pit lane. So Flavius will be starting outside the top 10. Exiting turn 1, down the hill goes Ripper Rick. Great username. Round turn 2. Hugging the inside line. Hugging it like it was his favourite granny, as Martin Brundle would put it. Pretty sure that's Assassin getting out of the way there. He's getting ready to set his final flying lap. Up by 29 thousandths of a second, Ripper Rick. Through the chicane. Oh, a bit messy there. That camera angle didn't really show it, but he was very sideways and he's backed out of the lap. Lake Show getting ready. The hill. Assassin. He's just behind Lake Show, so maybe he'll back off. Because he's got a lot of track behind him to just back off. Well, Lake Show actually just gets out of the way. There you go. So this is it. The pointy end, the business end of qualifying. It's quite a tall mountain to climb for any driver who isn't Assassin. Maybe the best that they can hope for is P2. And who knows, maybe someone can pull out a lap of the gods and take pole position away from Assassin. Around turn 1 goes Nihil plus Ultra, currently second in the Drivers' Championship. It's pretty close between him and KD, who was absent for this race weekend at Hungary. Through turn 3, using all the curve on the outside there, really pushing hard, up by 46 thousandths of a second in the first sector. Assassin is up by so he didn't cross the first sector split. He's up by 9 thousandths of a second. I was going to say, how did he find 3/10 in the first sector? Through turn 9. Oh, there's a car a bit in the way there. Shizant didn't really put himself in the right position there. That was quite nasty. Down by 4/10 of a second, the hill. Down by quite a bit. Down by 7/10 is Assassin. So yeah, the hill and Assassin getting impeded a bit there by Shizant, who was more or less on the racing line. As Nihil actually goes back into the pits, he won't set another flying lap. I guess neither will Assassin. Their qualifying session is over. Captain Schmag dumping fuel. He's getting ready to set a flying lap. Lake Show coming to the end of a flying lap. Sets a 15.7. Missing out on P2 by 15 thousandths of a second. Very, very close. Ripper Rick, I think he's going back into the pits. Silent Banshee. A flying lap up by 49 thousandths of a second in the first sector. Now, according to that timing graphic, Captain Schmeg's session is done. Did he miss out on setting another flying lap? I think he has. Unless, of course, I've got a timing glitch. Which is entirely possible. I'll have to wait and see. Around the second last corner comes Silent Banshee. And around the final corner, hugging the inside, getting on the power as early as he can. DRS open up towards the line. Banshee improves by 19 thousandths of a second. P9 for the Mercedes driver. I just want to check. Yeah, no, that's... I'm pretty sure that's the AI. Yeah, that's definitely AI in control of the car, so it's not a timing glitch. Oh no, I'm pretty sure that's qualifying over. It's Assassin on pole position by just over a second to Captain Schmeg in P2. Lake Show P3, then the Hill in P4. Oxford Fox in P5, making it a solid qualifying performance for Alpine. JBH in P6, Ripper Rick in P7, followed by Godly Boss. Then Silent Banshee and JST round out the top 10. All of the drivers inside the top 10, starting on the soft compound tyre. George in P11, Psycho 12th, Lob 13th, Rafa in 14th, then Flavius, Laquito, Snake and Beans, and Shizant. Oscar Toll and Cameron not setting lap times in qualifying. We saw with Cameron losing control at turn 5, ending up hitting the barrier on the left hand side of the circuit. But there we are, look at that, just over a second faster. Around a circuit that's 2.7 miles long. That's a pretty big margin. That's a pretty big margin. It should be fairly interesting to see what the drivers outside the top 10 do in terms of strategy. I imagine a lot of them will pick the medium tyre. I wouldn't be surprised if some pick the hard tyre. But the trouble with going onto the hard straight away is that you're sort of on the back foot pace-wise, and you need to stay out of trouble. You can't get damage. So, yeah, a lot of work to do if you do choose the hard compound. But hopefully this will be an entertaining race. Had a fairly entertaining race to watch in the Pacific Series, commentating for Tier 1. Very, very dramatic, action-packed race. Maybe we'll see a bit more of the same, or maybe we'll see a slightly more boring race here at Hungary, which is entirely possible. Rightio. Drivers on the grid. They'll be deciding what kind of setup changes they would want for the race, and deciding what kind of strategy they want to go with as well. I imagine the soft runners, they'll be trying to do a one-stop from either soft to hard or soft to medium. I don't think the two-stop is very viable here. The pit lane is quite long. You do lose a fair bit of time, and also track position is critical here. It's very, very tough to pass. The only realistic shot of you overtaking someone is into turn 1. The rest of the track is basically follow the leader sort of stuff. And we saw that in Pacific Series, where we had a driver who's on significantly older tyres, and he's got a guy with fresher tyres right behind him. The guy on fresher tyres just could not pass through the middle sector. Regardless of how much grip they had, regardless of how much speed they had, they could not pass through the middle sector. So track position is very, very important here. So, let's have a look at who's on what strategy. And there we are. It's almost a 50-50 split. So, top 10. We have Passassin on pole on soft tyres. He's got Captain Schmeg alongside in P2, also on the soft tyre. Lake Show P3 on softs. Nihil plus Ultra on the soft tyre. Oxford Fox his teammate as well. Same with JBH, Ripper Rick, Godly Boss. Silent Banshee, then JST. First driver outside the top 10, George Michelson on the medium compound tyre. Same with Psycho in P12 and his teammate Lob in P13. Snake and Beans has been disqualified from qualifying, so he's been teleported back to the grid. Rafa in P14 on the medium compound, same with Flavius in P15. Laquito also on the medium. Snake and Beans on the mediums in P17. The only driver outside the top 10 on the softs is Shizant in P18. Then we've got Oscar Toll and Cos Cameron at the back of the field. They're both starting on the medium compound tyre. So we've got 9 cars on the mediums, 11 cars on the softs, 10 of which are on worn soft tyres, which are quite literally good for about 2 or 3 laps. Then they're complete rubbish after that point. They just burn up way too quickly. And Shizant, oh my goodness. Shizant has left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin soon. There we are. Just be waiting on the cars at the back of the field, waiting on Cameron to line up into his grid slot, and we can get this race underway. 35 laps lay in front of us here in Budapest. Fairly demanding lap here as well. Several areas where a driver can make a mistake. But let's see who gets it right here in Hungary. We have 10 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. Now who's converted the best off the line? Down towards turn 1 we go. Persasson appears to be leading the field. Down towards the first turn he is. Side by side, Lakeshow and Captain Schmeg. As Psycho has retired already. He's gone straight on, it seems. JC has been given a 5-second time penalty. A severe collision with Lob, and we have a virtual safety car. The field checks up. Oh, dearie me. Lob, a 5-second penalty, a severe collision with Cameron. He's got a penalty too. Captain Schmeg and Lakeshow have penalties. Oh my goodness. But Psycho, you can see his McLaren there. Stationary. He's now despawned. But he crashed before turn 1, so I'm not really sure what happened to him. And unfortunately, we didn't quite have the camera angle to see what happened. Field quite spread out for some reason. You can see Oxford Fox, actually. Does he have damage? He appears to be alright, but he's a long way behind. Shizant. Long, long way behind. Rightio. Someone's going into the pits. It's Lakeshow. He's coming in. Get some new boots on the car. Serve a 5-second time penalty as well. Godly Boss is in the pits as well. I see. Like, oh wow, he's got a completely missing front wing. Yeah, that explains a lot. Front wing change for Godly Boss as well. Hard tyres going on the car. Medium tyres going on Lakeshow's car. Assassin leading the way, followed by Captain Schmeg. Then Ripper Rick finds himself in 3rd place. We've got JBH in 4th, Nahil in 5th, Silent Banshee in P6. Cameron has worked his way up to 7th place from Stone last. He's in 7th. Rafa, another great start from him. He's up into P8. He's made up a few positions off the start, 6 to be exact. JC just behind in P9. Then George rounds out the top 10. So some really good starts, especially from Ripper Rick, from Cos Cameron, Rafa. Laquito's made up 4. Shizant's up 5. Oscar Tola's up 5. So some really good starts in terms of gaining positions. Oh, Cameron on the attack here, looking around the outside. They're side by side exiting the corner. Down the pit straight they go. They're still side by side. It's a drag race down to turn 1. Who's going to win it? It appears to be Cameron. And into turn 1 we go. Silent Banshee tries to fight down the inside, but to no avail. Cameron hangs on to P6. Around turn 2 we go. Oh, massive tank slapper there from Cameron. But a good catch. Good bit of car control to gather that back up. Jay Steve's giving Rafa a bit of a hard time coming through turn 5. Just hanging on the back of Rafa. Only 3/10 behind. Through the chicane come the field. George isn't too far behind this too in P10. So we've got a few groups forming here and there. A few battles going on. Jay Steve, he's properly on the back of Rafa now. Through turn 12. With DRS enabled, JC should be able to get by relatively easily. Assassin sets fastest lap, of course, out in front in clear air. 1 minute 18.577. Onto the pit straight we go. JC will close in with DRS. Will he close in enough to overtake though? The answer is no. No, he won't. Very, very interesting. Into the pits goes Oxford Fox. Also a bit interesting to see. See what tyre he pits onto, shall we? He's on the soft tyre. What will he go on to? Set of mediums, maybe? Yeah, set of mediums. Through the chicane comes P2, P3 and P4. Captain Schmeg, Ripper Rick and JBH. All within 1 second of each other. Cameron is closing in on the hill as well. He's on a charge. Around turn 12. Then around turn 13, hugging the inside. All three drivers making their way round. Coming around the final turn onto the pit straight. Ripper Rick will have DRS, will close in by quite a bit. Not by enough to overtake. Unlike Cameron, who's going to pass the hill here for P5. Gets him well before the braking zone. Well, JST, he's closing in. But not by enough to overtake Rafa. Ooh, hello. Ripper Rick. Captain Schmeg. Battle here for P2. Oh, and that's Oxford Fox bringing out yellow flags in the second sector. Through the chicane. Ripper Rick only 4/10 behind. He'll be sucking up all the dirty air coming off the Williams. But he stays roughly 3/10 behind. Not losing any time. Around turn 12. And through turn 13 with its awkward braking zone. It has a small divot in the road that can be a bit unsettling. Around the final turn. And here comes Rick with DRS, using up his battery as well. Captain Schmeg is low on battery. You can tell from the flashing lights at the back of the car. Down the inside goes Ripper Rick into turn 1. Fairly simple move. And he's into P2. He pulls away that little bit more down towards turn 2. Captain Schmeg under a bit of pressure as JBH sends it down the inside. They're side by side on the exit. And Captain Schmeg keeps P3. That was a big send there from JBH. Really big. Made wheel-to-wheel contact. Now Cameron's on the back of the Red Bull, exiting turn 5. Oh, a bit sideways there, JBH. Ah, fantastic. A lovely aerial shot here, looking over the circuit. Through turn 8, then turn 9. 2/10 of a second separating P4 and 5. Around turn 11. Oh, he went onto the grass there, JBH. A bit sideways, under a bit of pressure here. He's lost his rhythm. He just needs to back off a little bit, find his rhythm again. Cameron applying a lot of pressure. Coming around the final turn. Will he have a go into turn 1? Let's find out. Down the pit straight we go. Cameron closing in, so is JBH. Down the inside of Captain Schmeg. Cameron will try and follow. Tight stuff here. Exiting turn 1. Silent Banshee is in the pit lane. He's got medium tyres put on his car. Around the outside, Cameron goes on his teammate. A bit of contact between the two Williams cars. As Captain Schmeg loses 2 positions in a matter of 3 turns. He's down to 5th. Through turn 4. And turn 5. Up towards the chicane of 6 and 7. Having to send it over the curves, touring car style, and Ripper Rick has lost it. Oh, and he's left us. Oh, right. So that was desync. So Ripper Rick has left the session. His car is still in 2nd place, but he needs to rejoin soon. He's going to lose a whole heap of positions here. Around turn 13. Round the final corner, turn 14. Oh, here we go. Rick's going to lose a whole heap of positions here. Really unfortunate. Cameron trying to get by. He's on the racing line for turn 1. JBH fights down the inside. They're side by side on the exit. But Cameron gets the drive. On the grippier racing line, he was able to get P2. JBH stays in 3rd place. Now Ricky isn't in his car yet. I can tell because the intervals haven't disappeared. So he'll join... there we go. So he's rejoined. The intervals have disappeared, because this is what the game does. We'll have to wait until everyone crosses the finish line for the intervals to come back. But you don't really need to interval to describe how Passassin is doing. He's absolutely dominating. He's got a massive margin to P2. Coming into the pits to put on some fresh tyres. What is he going on to? It's a set of mediums, I think. Going onto the car. Yes, they are. And away he leaves. That gives Cameron the race lead. JBH has stayed out. Same with Captain Schmeg. Same with Ripper Rick. With him now properly behind the wheel of his car. Where's Passassin come out? P7. Or close between him and Rafa. And that's Ripper Rick, I think, who's made a mistake. It is. He's off the racetrack. Rafa doesn't fight Passassin down the inside of turn 2. Rick, he's back on the black stuff, but he's got a completely missing front wing. And he has to do an entire lap with that missing contact between Lob and Oscar Toll there at turn 3. Fortunately, that didn't result in anything too nasty. They're both still in the race, but oh my goodness. That could have been really, really bad. Oh, hello, Ripper Rick. How are you doing? This is nasty. Rick trying to get out of the way. There we are. A completely missing front wing. Down towards turn 12 we go. Captain Schmeg is going into the pits. Now, Oscar, he's close. He'll get DRS down the pit straight. And the final corner. Should be a fairly simple move for Oscar. DRS, he's got a bit of battery to play with. Captain Schmeg going onto the hard tyre. Looking down the inside, doesn't go for the big send. Uses DRS down towards turn 2. They're not quite close enough to attack. Assassin getting by Nahil for P3. Already cutting his way back towards the front, and that is Oscar Toll. No, Laquita. Spinning out to turn 3, he gets going. Snake and Beans will be on the scene shortly. But Laquito has to be very careful because of that. With the tyres all hot, out of the temperature bracket, they have absolutely no grip. Absolutely no grip. Into the pits goes JBH. He'll be putting on the medium tyres, I would assume. Assassin sets another fastest lap. Absolutely flying at the moment, and he's in clear air too. Rafa and JC coming through turn 1. Rafa on 10 lap old mediums. They'll be feeling much, much better compared to 10 lap old softs on JC's car. There's squabbling going on here. Got Lob, Oscar Toll, JBH in this small group. Coming around turn 2. Just behind is Silent Banshee in P10. Turn 3 and up towards turn 4. Can't really pass through here, you just sort of stay behind, not do anything too silly. Get a lovely aerial shot looking over the circuit. You can see the landscape that you don't normally get to see with the grounded cameras. Quite the flowing racetrack, Hungaroring. A lot of high speed and medium speed corners to tackle as the hill goes into the pits. It's quite a nice track, I find, to lap around. It's one of my favourites personally, as I believe that's Liquito bringing out yellow flags at the chicane, as Ripper Rick has left the session again, so he's got connection issues. Yeah, I've enjoyed Hungaroring for quite some time. I just like the flow of the circuit. Feels really nice. Of course, it does have its gripes, such as turns 4 and 5 here. They're really painful if you get it wrong. And it's quite easy to get it wrong, especially at turn 4. As Rick apparently sets fastest lap, I don't know how legit that is. Probably not very, because he disconnected out of the session and he's rejoined just then. So I don't think that's a legitimate lap. I think there might have been a bit of desync that might have shortened the lap time. Oxford Fox, a 3-second time penalty. Snake and Beans has overtaken Godly Boss for P14, and Jay Stee is coming into the pit lane. On 11 lap old softs, he'll be pitting onto fresh medium tyres, and we'll hopefully try and go to the end of the race. Amazingly, 13 laps in, we've only had one retirement, and that was on the very first lap with Psycho. Really, really good to see that drivers are still fighting on. We haven't seen any more retirements. Then that's Oxford Fox again, bringing out yellow flags, I believe. There in the third sector. Exiting turn 2, we got Oscar Toll, we got Lob, Silent Banshees just behind in P8. Then we got Captain Schmeg and Lake Show just behind too. Round turn 5 we go. Through the chicane, turn 6 and 7, gap is 0.4 of a second between Oscar and Lob. Through turn 8, then turn 9, look at them all bunch up. Got drivers on different strategies. We got Oscar and Lob, they're on 12 lap old mediums, and that's a new retirement, that's Jay Stee. And we have a safety car, there he is there. So he's lost control through turn 5, and he's ended up hitting the barrier on the right hand side. He's out of the race, he's our second retirement. Now this will shake things up as JBH gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. Cameron has overtaken safety car there. I saw that they had a green light on top of the car telling the leader to pass. That's what the green light means. If it's flashing yellow, then you're not allowed to pass, but that was flashing green, so he was allowed to pass. I wonder what some of these drivers will do. A lot of them pitting for fresh tyres. Captain Schmeg, Lake Show, Oscar, Lob, they're pitting for fresh tyres. They've got fresh mediums and fresh hards. What about the leaders? What will they do? I imagine Cameron will pit for hard tyres. Don't really know what Passassin will do though. His tyres are relatively fresh, but it's a nice window of opportunity to put on new rubber. Cameron in. Passassin, he's coming in too. Rafa will definitely be coming in to put on hard tyres. You really do have to take advantage of the opportunity given to you. It's effectively a free pit stop. New medium tyres going on Passassin's car. Set of hard tyres. A drive-through penalty for Liquito. 5-second penalty being served there for Cameron. Will he come out in front? He will. Now Cameron got that when we had the virtual safety car. He had quote-unquote severe contact with Lakeshow, I think. Actually, no, that was Captain Schmeck, his teammate. Who did Cameron hit? I'd have to check the race director in a bit. But a few drivers getting screwed over by the Delta. JBH, one of them. Godly Boss is another driver not paying attention to the Delta. Liquito is another driver who got a drive-through penalty as well for speeding. What I do in these sort of situations when the safety car's out, I don't even look at the road. I have my eyes glued to the Delta and basically drive off my peripheral vision. The car's going slow enough that you don't need to be looking at every single apex. So you just keep your eyes on the Delta, manage the Delta, and just drive off your peripheral vision. That way you sort of try and guarantee that you don't speed, because getting a drive-through basically ruins your race, unless there's another safety car at some stage. Which, with the amount of laps remaining, isn't impossible. But yeah, it really does screw you over. And you can't serve a drive-through penalty under safety car conditions, so yeah. You really do get screwed over. A few drivers staying out. JBH and the Hill staying out, not pitting for fresh tyres. A few drivers really benefiting from this. Cameron coming back into the pits. Why is he doing this? Why has he done this? This is a strategic stop to go on to a new set of mediums. He's down in P11, though. From the race lead to P11, and there's Shizm's car. I believe that's the AI. It is the AI. Okay, fair enough, I guess. I mean, the hard tyre is slower, but you lose. Well, he lost 11 positions by doing that. And Cameron can't pass Shizm. Regardless if he's in the session or not, he can't pass him. The game won't allow it. So it's going to be Passassin at the front of the field. And JBH, he'll pit to serve his drive-through, so it'll be Nahil in second. Rafa, the big beneficiary of the safety car, in P4. Same with George, same with Silent Banshee. Captain Schmeg is in a pretty solid position on those medium compound tyres in P7. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all pans out. Safety car is not in this lap, so we're going to do one more tour of the circuit. We'll get rid of the interval for now, and we'll probably get rid of the tyre graphic for a bit as well. Tell you what, we'll have a look at Race Director, just ever so briefly. So look at these. Terminal damage. Straight away. Not a single penalty was given out, and he was out of the race. My goodness. Collision with LFR Psycho, so obviously these two made contact. You can tell from that. JC got a 5-second time penalty, a severe collision with Lob. Severe collision with Lake Show. Captain Schmeg, Lake Show got the same penalty. Cameron hit Lob, okay. And Lob got a severe collision penalty for hitting Cameron. I've had a whole heap of track extended warnings. Then we have 3 drive-throughs for JBH, Liquito, and Godly Boss. Dear oh dear. So what does the penalty scenario look like now? Well, basically all of those 5-second penalties should have been served. We've got 3 drivers with drive-throughs and Oxford Fox, who has a 3-second time penalty next to his name. I'm pretty sure Liquito has a 5-second penalty as well. That was because of him speeding entering the pits, so it's good to see the drivers haven't got too many time penalties at this stage. We're only at the halfway mark, so we've still got plenty of racing to get through. But at this stage, it's good to see. Assassin, he will control the field now as the safety car will go back into its natural habitat in the pit lane. And Assassin will get to decide when to go back under green flag racing. JBH, I don't know if he'll be able to... Oh, I think he can serve the drive-through on this lap. I think. As Assassin guns it. And we're back under green flag racing here in Hungary. Rafa, he's had a pretty nice restart. Can't look around the outside. Banshee sends it down the inside of turn 1. It's a bit messy there from the hill. And Rafa gets through into second place. Oh. The hill, maybe his tyres aren't quite up to temperature just yet. Maybe didn't do enough weaving on the restart. Oh, and spinning! It's Lob and Cameron! Oh, no! Oh, and Cameron might get a reprimand for that. Even with the ghosting system turned on, you can't do that. Pretty sure that's in the rules somewhere. Lob. Amazingly, I think both drivers have gotten away with damage. I'm pretty sure. And I reckon Cameron will be regretting that pit stop he made, sending him back into the midfield. He could have been leading. Definitely not leading. That's for sure. The man who is Assassin, he's already built up a hell of a margin out in front. Coming around the final turn. Well, let's have a look. What's the gap? 4.5 seconds? On the restart alone. That is well and truly ridiculous. How is he 4.5 seconds quicker on one lap? On one lap. What? A bit of squabbling going on here. Oscar and George. Down towards turn 2. George, ooh, big send. Overshoots it. Oscar tries to get the switch back. It's tight between the two. Liquito is spun out, bringing out yellow flags. George trying desperately to keep that P7. He had that big send down the inside. He's lost control, but he's gathered it back up. Oh, hang on. No, that was Lakeshore who lost control, rather. His teammate lost it at turn 5. George has overtaken him. Now Lakeshore, he's got Oscar to deal with as they head through turns 10 and 11. Oh, and Godly Boss has spun out. This is at turn 11. He gets it going. It's pointed in the right direction. He rejoins safely onto the racetrack. Well done there, Godly Boss. Thumbs up. 10 out of 10 rejoin. Good stuff right there. The hill has gotten by Rafa. The Brazilian's not going to give up though. Sitting in the slipstream. Trying to close in. Will he go for the big send? Where he's looking. Prodding his nose left and right, trying to find a chink in the Hill's armour. And at the moment the Hill hangs on to P2. Goldie Boss and Liquito going into the pits. Liquito getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Assassin now with almost a 10-second lead. 10-second lead. Through the chicane. Rafa doing his best to hang on to the back of the hill. Silent Banshee on the back of this too. Same with Captain Schmeg. And it's a bit of a gap to George in P6. He's got his teammate on his gearbox. Cameron has gotten by the AI of Shizen. He's into P10. But he's given himself a 5-second time penalty. Oh, and a... Dearie me, Banshee. Did you outbrake yourself or did you get hit from behind? I'm not sure. I was going to say it was a big send from Banshee, but then I realised it might not have been a send. It might have got hit from behind, but I don't think anybody's got damage. I'll check in just a moment. As Lake Show looking down the inside here. His teammate, he's through into P6. Captain Schmeg, his front wing looks relatively okay. Banshee just behind. He's now got Lake Show for company. Up the hill towards turn 4. Looking down the inside. Oh, that's tight. That's tight. One single lapse in judgment and it could get really, really nasty. Oh, just like that. As George cuts the chicane, he outbroke himself. I don't think he hit his teammate though. He just got the penalty. Now he's got Ripper Rick right behind. There's Oscar in P9. Oh, running wide there, Rick. Gets it back on the black stuff. Oscar just keeping him company. Oxford Fox has overtaken the AI of Shizard. Lakeshore right behind Banshee. Here we go, onto the pit straight. DRS open, using up overtake. Banshee, there's not much he can really do. Decent. He defends. Oh, the Lakeshore. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not nice. That's a fair bit of desync there. Looking down the inside. Turn 2, they made contact. Did they? Did they? I'm not sure. Yes, they definitely made contact. I wasn't sure if that was desync or if that was legitimate. I think it's legitimate. Lakeshore is down into 9th now. Oh, you can see that they're jumping around a little bit. So he and Banshee definitely made contact. Oh, and George has definitely made contact with the barrier, spinning out at turn 5. Oh, he spins out again in his desperation to try and not lose too much time. Hello, Oxford. Here comes Shizant. Here comes Flavius. He needs to get it going. There we go. Lost a whole heap of time because of that. Silent Banshee, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Here come the penalties. Might see a few more towards the end. Captain Schmeg behind Rapper, closing in. He's got a 20% worth of battery. And here he comes. Oh, that's tight. Into turn 1 we go. Captain Schmeg misses the corner. He was pushed slightly onto the grass as Lakeshore and Cameron currently scrapping it out, it seems. Cameron taking P8 away from the Ferrari driver. And that is Laquito bringing out yellow flags at turn 11. Man, with all this carnage going on, I don't really know where to look half the time. Just have to get a bit lucky. Bobby Boss has left the session. His car is in the pit lane. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin shortly. Around turn 10, then turn 11. Captain Schmeg applying pressure. Up towards turn 12, looking down the inside. A confident move there, and he's through into 3rd. Around the penultimate corner, Ripper Rick applying pressure. There's Silent Banshee. 2 drivers behind are battling, 2, Cameron and Oscar. Cameron round the outside. Nice overtake there. He's into 7th place. Here comes Rick. Down the inside. Turn 1. He's into 4th place. Down towards turn 2. Major just yet, though I see Captain Schmeg, he's running low on battery. He's in single digits down from the steering wheel. So he doesn't have much in terms of resources if he wants to defend. So he has to be a bit mindful. Ooh. Just clicked off board at the wrong time. There. Oh, and dearie me, Captain Schmeg, he's lost it. He has lost it. At turn 11, he's out of the race. It was looking like a podium finish. Oh, and oh my goodness, Rafa and Silent Banshee, they've gone straight on into the barrier at turn 12. What has happened between these fellas? So here's Captain Schmeg. We saw that. We didn't see this though. Look out there. Silent Banshee and Rafa, they've gone straight on. What happened between those two? My goodness. Some fresh tyres going on the cars now. Soft tyres. Oh, with the amount of laps remaining, I don't think that's the right call. I mean, yeah, we only have 11 laps to go, but that's still quite some time on these soft tyres. They burn out very quickly. You'd much rather it be like 5, maybe 6. 7 is even a bit of a stretch on these tyres. But 3 retirements in the span of about 15 seconds. And look at Assassin. He's in a position where he's effectively got a free pit stop. He'll come out well in front of Ripper Rick here. Well in front. Doesn't matter if Rick pits or if he doesn't. They're well in front. Medium tyres? No, soft tyres at the ready. Again, I think it'll be a bit of a stretch. The car's lighter because it has less fuel, so you won't be carrying around as much weight. And in turn, you won't be wearing out the tyres as much. But still, I mean, 10, 9 laps on the soft tyre here, it is a bit of a burden. Oscar Toll stays out, so he gets another position. Here comes Rick. And here comes the hill. This might be close. The hill gets him quite easily, actually. I thought it was going to be closer. Oh, could you imagine what Captain Schmeg is thinking right now? It could have been a podium, but he made a mistake in a corner where you really don't want to make a mistake. I'll be very interested to see what happened between Rafa and Silent Banshee, though. How did they end up there? Of all places, they ended up hitting the barrier at turn 12. That deep barrier at turn 12. So, I just checked the Discord. It seems that Silent Banshee's TV turned off. Said that Rafa brake checked him and he yanked his wheel and his TV turned off. Right. There you go. Cameron coming into the pits. But he's on fresh tyres. Why come in? Front wing. Oh yeah, he's got a missing end plate. Look at that. So righto, so that explains Banshee and Rafa then. So Banshee's TV turned off and he had no idea when the next corner was coming up. So he and Rafa went straight on at turn 12. Hitting the barrier on the outside. That explains why they went so deep too. So, and I suppose Rafa he couldn't really do anything. No, we've got a fairly interesting set of scenarios going on. We got drivers on fresh rubber, fresh soft tyres. We got Oscar Toll on medium tyres, 12 lap, mediums, I can't read, 12 lap old hard tyres in P2. Now he's got track position, but those hard tyres won't feel particularly great. We've got Shizant the AI in P5. We won't worry about him too much. We've got Lob in P8 on 12 lap old hards as well. How many races have you DNF'd in a row? We can actually answer that legitimately. Give me a minute. Race results. Captain Schmeg. Well, not necessarily in a row, but this will be your third DNF this season. You've had some really bad luck. Actually, I'm looking at your results. Your results don't really show how quick you've had some horrendous luck, haven't you? My goodness. Yeah, this will be your third DNF. You've had a DNF at Bahrain. You had a DNF in Belgium. This will be DNF number 3. Yikes. But it's an easy place to lose it, though. I wouldn't be too upset about it. You can so easily lose it at turn 11. But a fairly controlled restart here. Leaders making their way through the chicane. Cameron trying to tear his way back up towards the front. We go through the S's. In the middle sector, 6-10 separating Oscar and the Hill. Now let's see here, who'll be close enough to attack? Maybe JBH is on the back of Lob here, coming through turn 13. Assassin sets fastest lap. Coming around the final corner, Ripper Rick might be in with a shot to try and pass here. Looking down the inside, down towards turn 1. The big send. And he's through into third. Oscar still hanging on. But no longer. Just as soon as I said that, he was being overtaken by Ripper Rick on the soft tyre. Assassin, though, out in front with a healthy margin. Very, very healthy margin. Lakeshow now on the back of Oscar. Lob with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, how did Lakeshow not end up into the barrier? I will never know. Typically, when you lose it at turn 4, you properly lose it. And it's basically race over at the best of times. The Hill in a bit of trouble. He's lost a whole heap of ground. Been overtaken by his teammate and Cameron. There's JBH not too far behind as well in P8. Down towards turn 12. Not quite close enough to attack just yet. And down through turn 13. DRS is now enabled. Use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone. As the great Jeff would tell you. Down and around we go towards turn 1. Turn 1 we go down the hill towards turn 2. Oh, Oxford looking down the inside. Rather, Cameron looking down the inside. Oh, he was on the grass there, Oxford. He was forced onto the grass there. That was a bit nasty. Could have been really nasty for Oxford if he lost control of the car. And that is Laquito spinning out. Through the chicane we go. Through turn 8. Then turn 9. Look at them all. Tightly bunched up. Squabbling for position. Down towards turn 12. Close stuff. Love it. Alright. Now, all of these guys will have DRS. All of these guys want to move up. See how desperate they want to get. They've got 5 laps to sort this out. Several of them have got penalties, and here comes Lake Show. Down the inside of Oscar Toll, down towards turn 1. He's through. What about Cameron? Oh, he's trying to force the issue down the inside. Oh, and Lake Show, he's disconnected, has he? Oh, no, that's a desync. Ooh, that's a desync. Ooh, that's not good. Down through turn 3. And up towards turn 4. Really tight stuff at the moment. Cameron has overtaken Lake Show as well. Thank goodness he's gotten by as soon as he has, because Lake Show's been jumping about just a little bit. Exiting the chicane. Could throw a blanket all over these guys. They're really, really close. Oh, and there's Desig again. I saw that in the corner of the shot. Through turn 12. And through turn 13. Oh, and look at that. Oxford's just driving through Oscar. Has he disconnected? He must have. No, that's desync. Down the pit straight we go, down towards turn 1. Oxford is closing in. Got DRS and overtake switched on, looking down the inside. It should be a simple move here. Commits to it as well. He's into 5th place, a simple move. Oh, and Oscar, he's in a bit of trouble here. He's got in the hill. Ooh, he was trying to get by. He was looking left and right, but he couldn't really find an opening to really send it on Oscar. Ooh, that's not good to look at. Seeing the desync there. Through turn 4. Had the audio drop out there, weirdly. Just ever so briefly, the audio just dropped out. Laquito's retired, so we're down to 14 cars. Make it technically 13 because she isn't in his car. Through turn 8, then turn 9. Laquito has then left the section, and George has lost control at turn 5. He gets it going, but I can't tell if he's got wing damage or not on that car, but he's now down in 14th place, a long way behind. But so long as he finishes, he will score points. Remember, in Race Spec, you get points all the way down to 15th place rather than the top 10. Assassin with a massive lead of 9.7 seconds over Ripper Rick, who's done a ripping job in the Aston Martin, substituting for KD. So the boys in British Racing Green will be fairly happy with the amount of points they're getting here. Godly Boss is still in the race, down in P12, I believe, unless that's his AI still. There's Oscar Toll and the Hill. Change places there. I think that's a desync doing its thing. Let's see. Oh, well, Godly Boss isn't behind the wheel of his car, so maybe it won't be as great as I initially imagined. Coming around turn 5, the Hill still applying pressure, but he's made a mistake, a costly one. Losing control at turn 5, spinning into the barrier, completely shattering his front wing. And again, the audio just dropping out for whatever reason on his car. No idea why. That's pretty much game, set and match from the Hill. Got a completely destroyed front wing on his car. Yeah, Goldie Boss and Shiz, and they're not actually behind the wheel of their cars. Assassin forever increasing his lead, my goodness. Up to 10.6 seconds. Lake Show trying desperately to hang on to P4. Oxford, he now has the job to try and claim as many points as he can. The Hill's basically he's basically going to finish in 14th place. Up and around turn 4 we go. Oxford still right on the back of Lake Show. I see. Fair enough, Laquita. When you have braking problems, it's not fun to fight on, and George is out. George is out of the race with 2 laps to go. So it won't be a double points haul for Ferrari. Whoa, that's close between Oxford and Lakeshow. Getting really, really tight here. There's going to be a battle between Oscar and JBH as well. We better bring up the penalties because that will shuffle up the order just a little bit. Oxford still applying pressure, closing in with DRS. He'll have overtake switched on as well. It's his last chance. He's going to go for it down the inside at turn 1. Lakeshore will try and get the switch back, try and get the drive. Can't quite get it though. Oh, will he send it? No, he won't. He'll stay behind Lakeshore. Lakeshore will stay in P5. JBH and oh my goodness, Oscar's out of the race. He's crashed out on the final lap. Oh, and Lakeshore's out too. He's crashed just a bit after Oscar. Let's see here. We're right on board with Flavius, who gets by the wreckage. Lob just drives through the wreckage. Lakeshore, he's crashed out at the exit of turn 3. So 2 retirement. My goodness. But there's been absolutely no trouble for this man on screen. Another dominant performance from Persasson. You'll take the checkered flag quite easily here at the Hungaroring. Win the Hungarian Grand Prix by some margin as well. Ripper Rick will complete a very fine performance. He will come home in 2nd place, 13 seconds behind our race leader. Well, according to the game, 18 seconds, but that's probably a bit of desync there with the timing. Cameron will finish in 3rd place. Oxford Fox will finish in 4th. No, he won't. JBH will take that away from him. So JBH finishes in 4th place. Flavius will come around the final corner. He will come home in P6. He'll be fairly happy with this performance, I'm sure. Up 9 positions. Lob up 6 positions. Actually, no, he's been demoted down a few. Snake and Beans will finish in P7. Godly Boss in P8. Then it'll be Lob in P9. Actually, no, it won't be Godly Boss because he wasn't behind the wheel of his car. So it'll be Lob in P8, then The Hill in P9, and that'll be it in terms of the finishing drivers. Only 9 finishes in this event. Went down from a full field of 20 to 9 cars in the end. Driver of the day, obviously it's Cameron. Went from dead last to 3rd. Now we got the podium celebrations. Another victory for Persasson. He is literally but steps away from securing the Drivers' Championship. Mathematically, he can secure it by next round, I reckon. There's 150 points left on the table. And I'm pretty sure, even with his win, he won't have a 150 point lead coming into the next round in Mexico. But there we are. The win and fastest lap, so a full complement of points, 31 points next to his name. Another dominant performance. Ripper Rick in P2, Cameron again from P20 to 3rd. A really, really solid performance from him. JBH in 4th, Oxford Fox in 5th. Flavius in P6, Snake and Beans in 7th, which is really good for the Alfa Romeo squad. A really solid amount of points there. Godly Boss wasn't behind the wheel of his car when he finished, so it'll be Lob in P8, then The Hill in P9 because Shizen, he wasn't behind the wheel of his car either. And our retirements from the race: Lake Show, Oscar Toll, George, Laquito, Rafa, Silent Banshee, Captain Schmeck, JST and Psycho. Though these fellas, I think, will still be classified as they met the 90% criteria. So I think they will still score. But I'll leave that to the officials to decide on that. But certainly quite the entertaining race here at the Hungaroring. A lot of drama, a bit of action here and there in terms of racing. But no, certainly a lot of fun. And it appears that we're stuck on this final results screen. We're not actually going anywhere. So I better do some quick mathematics here. Now, Persasson's closest rival is The Hill. See the gap here. So the gap is 117 points, with Persasson winning with fastest lap, he increases his points tally to 271. For the hill, he'll finish in P9, I'm pretty sure. I'll just quickly check the points table, point system, see how it works. P9, he'll get 7 points next to his name, which increases his tally to 130. So with 5 rounds to go, Assassin has a lead of 141 points. He's 9 short. Actually, no, it'll be a bit more than that. It'll be about 14 short of securing the Drivers' Championship. But from the way it's going, Assassin will become Drivers' Champion by the next round of the championship. So there we are. But now with everything finally over, it's time for us to end the stream. Tune in throughout the week as there's still plenty of racing to take place here on Race Spec Esports. But for the American Series, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching. And we'll see you for round 11 at Autodromo and Manos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. Hope to see you all there. Good night.